you can never you can't ever take away the fact that somebody has an actual, if they have an actual opinion and the statement makes sense.
It's giving Kevin Samuels.
It does. However, I think it's more effective if you speak selectively. So if Chloe did what she was doing selectively, if it wasn't as often, which is right now, which is what I feel like she's doing right now, she's not posting as much. She's not she's not going live as much. She's not doing certain things as often as she once did. So if you do it every now and then and leave it as a treat, that's perfectly fine because you're already a polarizing figure. Like Shabika said earlier, you are mentored by Beyonce. You're Parkwood.
That's a big fucking deal.
That's a huge fucking deal.
100%.
We could have never, ever heard these girls talk ever. And you know what? I think that would have added to the mystery of who they were. And I think that would have pushed them a little bit further than saying, you know what? Let's actually put you in the front of everything that's going on. And I've met Chloe in real life, and she's such a nice, warm, polite, just a joyous person to be around. Bro, we had a freaking blast with her in the studio.
You know what falls into what you're saying too, Colin? You know who spoke about that too? Her. She spoke about what was her reason for keeping on the glasses when she first came out. Now we know what she looked like. But she wanted the talent to speak for herself, that mystery.
When you keep that mystery behind you, people are really trying to dig in that. When people find out, oh, that was Gabby Williams that was on Dr. Phil or wherever, or Oprah, or whatever show she was on when she was a kid, it pushed her even further. And now it's like people want more of you, but they can't find that. So they're going to keep digging and keep digging and keep digging and keep digging.
And in this day, in this society with social media and everything, when we keep digging, they're going to dig to negative. You get what I'm saying? When you can't find anything wrong, then they're like, oh, she's showing too much ass. She's being
but
too
you
sexy.
Parkwood.
She's sucking a lollipop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
But that's my thing. You are damned if you do, you are damned if you don't.
Nah, you're not damned if you don't. Not if you're freaking Parkwood. Because you know what? If I'm Parkwood, y'all can only find what I want you to find. Because I have the machine behind me to literally structure this world that you only find what I want you to find.
But my thing is when
Beyonce.
I say but I think
I've got the engine behind me.
You're
Beyonce.
damned if you don't is that you do realize that Beyonce strategically does, but she does always give an opinion on worldly things. It is strategic. What I'm saying is like they can't always be quiet.
No,
they have to actually like that's what I'm saying is that if you are going to do the opinion, make it strategic. Make it something that adds to the conversation. Don't just say shit just to say shit. That's when like, okay, fuck you, shut up, and just.
Honestly, I feel like Beyonce is like the perfect example for this topic because like she's a phenomenal artist. Like that's not even a question. But I feel like a big part of what makes Beyonce like so desirable is the lack of what. Remember I spoke about this before? I was like, yo, we don't get no interviews, nothing. Like I feel like that's what makes her such a big deal. Like Jay-Z is outside more than Beyonce. Like you see Jay-Z be at events.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But we got that from Beyonce before.
But neither one of them talk in front of a phone. There's a difference between making a social commentary and making a cultural commentary in a strategic way or whatever you're doing. There's a difference between doing that and putting your phone in front of your face because this whole conversation has nothing to do with Chloe Bailey making comments on the world. If Chloe Bailey wants to make comments on the world, make a comment on the world. Do what you want. I'm talking about her showing her face and being personable too often. You can show too much of who you actually are. And then, yeah, sometimes the thirst traps is what I should say. When she was posting the thirst traps that were just like pictures of her, even if they were selfies, if she's just at home taking a little cute selfie, those were cool. Do that every now and then. Rihanna does not post 4 or 5 times a year. Well, I'm sorry. Rihanna only posts 4 or 5 times a year. When Rihanna gets a post, we on that.
Facts.
We are on it.
Everybody
she posted about 2 weeks ago. You seen it? You seen it?
Yep.
You seen it?
Mm-hmm.
We are.
She
on
gave us
that.
back-to-back week posts.
We are on that with Rihanna, who she is now. Chloe is in the beginning of whatever it is that she's trying to do.
But that's what I'm saying, though, Keith.
Beginning of, but again, in the very beginning, Ponder Replay days, there wasn't Instagram. There was Twitter, Facebook. Instagram wasn't really there like that, and Twitter was at its infancy too. But in the Ponder Replay days, Rihanna was everywhere. She was at every TRL. She was at every BET. She was at every interview she could do. She was at every award show. That is Instagram Live now. That is being on social media now. So now Rihanna doesn't have to do that because she did all that when she was 16 during the Ponder Replay days. Chloe has to do that.
No, she doesn't. Because she Parkwood. And weren't they on Disney Channel when they were younger? What were they on? Nickelodeon? They were on something when they were
YouTube people.
They were on you. Okay, so they were on YouTube. You come out with Beyonce. I'm talking past. You have Supreme Beyonce. I'm not talking about you Goku in Dragon Ball, like the early Dragon Ball when he was fighting Frieza. You got Goku when this motherfucker is pulling spirit bombs in the middle of the Cell Saga. You got Goku at his prime when everybody knows exactly who Goku is and what he does. And you got the youngest ones coming up and everybody knows it. This is a lot different than Rihanna being the first, not the first, but being the newest woman to come out of not Rockefeller, but Rock Nation, a budding young subsidiary of Rockefeller. You've got Beyonce's. This is Beyonce's
only
baby.
2 talents, right?
This is her baby right here, and we know what Beyonce does
For herself.
So I don't think you need the TRL. You don't need the.
Keep in mind when you say, like you keep mentioning, like, bruh, they got Parkwood, and I don't think people realize like Beyonce is such a big entity that like the things that Rihanna may have had to do back in the day, or even Beyonce had to do back in the day to get into rooms like Met Gala and shit like you don't get invited to that stuff like that. But Parkwood does.
Yeah.
Parkwood
they
does.
begging. Who you guys got? Got anybody new this year?
Parkwood does.
Send them down.
Chloe don't gotta drop a song for 5 years. Parkwood does.
I would encourage her to
Parkwood
not release shit for 5 years.
She's gonna be at Rock Nation. She's gonna be at the Grammys. She's gonna be at what's the shit? Met Gala. She's gonna be everywhere.
Chloe should have pulled a Frank Ocean on God.
But
they got the golden pass.
You know what y'all all said? The golden pass to go to industry things, industry events. Y'all can be yes, because you're Parkwood, you're there. Yes, we'll go to these industry things. We'll go to these industry events. Of course, you get this invitation. Yes, come on. You're with Beyonce. Yes, to these industry things and these industry events. But are y'all still buying the music?
Mm-hmm. Keith, let's be clear. And I feel like you know this already, but I know for sure me and Colin know this. A lot of the music that's booming is not booming because niggas actually is rocking with the song. Networking in music is so big. When a label, a radio station, an executive decides they're going to push your song is getting pushed. Mm-hmm. So when we say Parkwood gets into these rooms, it's very important to be in those rooms because Chloe could drop an ass song, and if, I don't know who she signed to, but if Atlantic say they pushing that song and they drop that shit off at iHeart,
that song is getting streamed.
It's running
220 million times versus my ass song
3,000 times
that dropped on the Juice album. That only streamed about 1,200 times in a 10-year span. You know, it's different. It's different.
That networking. That's what we're saying. Like that Parkwood on your name is bigger than people.
On top of them already having a name that they built themselves as youth.
But my thing is that we're still not necessarily hitting on is that you both have still said that Chloe clearly apparently still needs to do something different to be more successful. So again, the Parkwood thing clearly isn't pushing you two because you both have said that Chloe there's something she still needs to do
to be organically successful.
But it did push me because one of the reason why I even paid attention to them in the first place was, oh snap, I do remember there being two sets of young black women, sisters, who were doing really big things on YouTube back in the day. Chloe and Halle is one. Van Jess was another. Mm-hmm. I lean more towards the Van Jess side to this day. I'm huge fans of those two sisters. Mm-hmm. There's another set that went to freaking Beyonce. That's why I paid attention to them. Yeah. And then we're like, all right, so slowly they start releasing music, but they're not giving us too much. They're teaching them how to be artists. They're teaching them not how to just be artists, how to be superstars. There's a reason why we're only getting a little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit. Then out of the clear blue sky, we start seeing a lot of Chloe on her own. Now they're starting to grow up and they're branching into their individual aspects of life. Mm-hmm. Cool. I like the way that Halle's doing hers better than I like the way that Chloe's doing hers. And I like the way Chloe's doing hers. I just think it needs to be altered a little bit. And more in the way she's been doing it more recently, I think it's perfect. Woah Chill Wednesday.